guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today's video is gonna be I'm basically going to talk about beauty product categories that I do feel like it's worth buying backups of versus other categories where I don't want to buy backups, and I'm going to tell you my reasonings for both. I have 5 categories of products which I feel like 5 categories of products where I feel like it is worth buying backups, and then 5 other categories of products where I don't feel like it's buying backups. And this is again categories where I personally feel like I shouldn't buy backups. I feel like I used to do videos like these a lot before, where I used to talk about no buys, or what categories I want to buy more of versus not buy as many of. Basically, these are all I feel like similar-ish videos to each other, and I used to do so many of these like back in the day, and I don't do these kind of videos as much anymore, mainly because I feel like they can kind of be repetitive, and it's not like I'm going to change my mind on these that often. It stays the same, and I feel the same way about some of these for years and years. So yes, that's why I don't do these videos anymore. But let me know, do you still enjoy watching these kind of videos? I'm really curious, because I feel like content trends can also change from time, and I want to know, is this a kind of video that people still like to watch in 2024? I think they were more popular in 2020, 2019, like pre-COVID days and stuff, maybe even during COVID. Like during lockdown, I used to see a ton of videos like this, but since then, I'm not really sure if people still do these kind of videos or not. So any which ways, I've been rambling too much. The intro has been quite long. Let's jump into it and let's get started. I will first start talking about the 5 product categories that I actually do buy backups of. And mainly for all of these, I feel like my reasoning, like one common reasoning for all of them, is going to be that I don't try as many products in these specific categories, A, and B, these are like essential products. So if I don't have backups and I run out of them, I'm not going to have anything to replace it with. So yes, whenever I find these specific products on offers and discounts, I tend to usually buy backups and just stock up to make sure I have enough, so that when I run out of my current one, I can jump into my backups. So the first category is matte eyeliner. Now I'm a matte eyeliner girly. I'm wearing it today. I wear it every single day when I'm doing my makeup, and usually the matte eyeliner which I'm using is the Faces one, and I used to buy it when they used to go on buy one get one offers. But I feel like recently, in the past couple of months, or maybe like 2024, I have not seen the Faces eyeliners go on buy one get one off. I've seen them sometimes be out of stock when I'm looking at repurchasing them during a sale or something like that, or I've seen that the Calabar one is going on offers like 30% off, or I don't think buy one get one I saw the Calabar one on, but the Calabar matte eyeliner and the Faces matte eyeliner are my 2 favorites. The Calabar one is more expensive than Faces, but depending on which one is in stock, which one is a better price, if the Faces one is not on offer but the Calabar one is, and it's like the same cost, then I'll basically just pick up one or the other depending on what seems like a better idea at that specific point of time. Both of them have a pretty similar formula, I would say, and they give me the same result. I love both of them equally. It doesn't really matter, and I am not someone who experiments with matte eyeliners, so I just stick to my holy grail favorite, and I buy backups to make sure I'm always stocked up on this product. Second category is sunscreen. Now for sunscreen, I was in a big phase experimenting with a lot of different sunscreens in 2022 before that, and I feel like even in 2023 I was experimenting with sunscreens, but 2023 onwards I have now like stopped experimenting, because I feel like I have found quite a few different formulas. I want to say like 5 to 8, leaning on 10 favorite sunscreens that I use, I love, I like to repurchase whenever they go on offers and discounts. And I've also narrowed down out of those 8 to 10 as to like, I can say 5 to 6 which are like my favorites, and even out of those, whichever ones go on better offers and discounts, I tend to repurchase those. So now that I have favorite sunscreens, I don't tend to experiment with other options, and whenever my favorite ones go on sale, I generally tend to buy backups, and I just stick to using the same sunscreens over and over and over again. I'm not really experimenting on them too much, because even though people love testing out all the new sunscreens that are coming out on the market, I feel like a couple of years ago, sunscreens we like it was hard for people to find a favorite sunscreen. So there were a lot of brands coming out with different formulas, and the formulas were unique and they were different from each other, and we would all test them out to find our perfect fit. Now that we have found our perfect fit, and I'm pretty sure at least 50 to 75% of the population has a sunscreen that they use and love, they still want to keep testing out newer ones that come out in the market, just because trying out new products is like fun, and they can do videos on them, talk about new launches, garner people's views. And I get that if you want to spend your money, or even if you're getting it for free and you want to try it out and let people know, it is possibly going to be useful for a small majority of the population who are maybe still seeking out a favorite sunscreen. Maybe they have not tried enough, maybe they are looking at newer formulas that are out there in the market. But for people who have found a sunscreen that they know and love, I don't really see the point of trying out new ones. You can just stick to your favorites, and I don't think it's a bad thing if you buy sunscreen backups, because it's something that you ideally go through pretty quickly. I'm not telling you to buy 10, 12, 15 backups. I'm telling you that if your favorite sunscreen is going on sale, then buying 3 to 4 tubes that's going to last you for a quarter, or maybe like 4 or 5 months at best, is not a bad idea, and you can actually save a ton of money in the process as well. So those are my thoughts on sunscreen backups. I feel like I was speaking just about sunscreen for a hot minute. So let's move on next and talk about our third category, which is face washes. Now, similar to sunscreen, I also feel like face wash is something that I get excited to try new ones, but it's hard for me to compare face washes and tell you this is better than this. And also because unlike moisturizer or sunscreen, you can't really swatch face washes. I am not even really able to do like face wash demo clips or anything like that. So for me to be talking about face washes, I have to kind of talk about my experience with them, and you kind of have to trust me considering my preference. If your preference is different from me when it comes to face washes, it will be really hard for you to understand. But basically my point being is that when it comes to like finding a favorite face wash and using one, I just like what I like. And if I find a face wash that I like, I tend to stick to it, and I don't tend to experiment too much, unless and until maybe I'm looking for an affordable option, or I'm looking for a fragrance free option, or I am looking for something that goes on offer very often, so then I can save my money in the process and stuff like that. That is the only time I feel like I will experiment a little bit. But once I find a couple of different options that I like, I will just stick to those and repurchase those, and then potentially have backups of it, and I'll just constantly go through that. It's not something that I tend to review a lot on my channel. Of course, I have reviewed a lot of face washes very recently, because I was just thinking of dabbling and seeing if there are good ones out there in the market. But if you watched that video, you would have found that I didn't find a lot of favorites that have stuck, but whatever has stuck, I'm just going to stick to that and repurchase that going forward. Then moving on next to our fourth category, and that is shampoo. Now, shampoo is something that is an essential, and it is something that once you find a shampoo again that you love, there is no reason to switch it out. I am the least experimental when it comes to my hair care, if I have to be very honest, because in the past few years I have noticed my hair quality degrade a little bit, and there are certain hair care issues that I sometimes even feel like I can't understand, like what is going on with my hair and what is going on with my pendant right now. Okay, so coming back to shampoos, like I was saying, it is something that I don't experiment and use a ton of. I think I've used the same shampoo, which is Tresemme, for I want to say 10 years. It might be my 10th year this year of using Tresemme shampoos. So for that reason, it's pretty obvious why I buy backups of this, and I don't go crazy when it comes to buying backups. But if I know that my current bottle is running low, then I will tend to buy a backup if I'm placing a Nykaa order any which ways. Then moving on next, our fifth and last category, and then we can move on to products I don't want to buy backups of. So yeah, Our fifth category for products I do want to buy backups of is shower gels. Now, this is another one of those essential categories similar to shampoo, which it is like, yes, I like experimenting with them. But again, the ones that I know and love, I want to kind of have on hand. And if I'm experimenting with others, then I'll have those. But my favorite ones, I like to have backups of so that I can lean back on them. Like, say I'm testing out new shower gels, but they are not cleansing enough, or they are not, like, I don't like the scent. Maybe there could be multiple reasons why I'm testing out something new and it's not working for me. So then I would want to take a break for a couple of days, rely back on my favorite formula and use that, and then maybe decide what I want to do with the one that I don't like. So I always feel like I need to have a couple of different shower gels in my shower, some that I like, some that I don't like. So I always lean back on my favorite formulas when it comes to shower gels, and I always tend to stock up on those when I can get a good price on it. So those were the 5 categories of products that I do want to buy backups of. Now, when it comes to product categories that I don't want to buy backups on, and let's get started with the first one. And this is probably the one category which I'm enjoying the most right now when it comes to experimenting with newer formulas, testing out different ones, and that is moisturizer. I love moisturizer. I love testing out different moisturizers, and I'm gonna find it very hard. Like, if you asked me what my favorite moisturizer is, I will be thinking for probably a few hours about it, and I still won't give you I still won't be able to give you an answer after a couple of hours. And the reason for that is I look for so many different things in a moisturizer that it's hard to narrow down on just one formula, which is my absolute favorite. I want something that's affordable. I want something that has active ingredients in it, probably. I want something that I can use both morning and night, which I've never been able to find a formula like that. So I've made peace that I want to have a separate daytime moisturizer and a separate nighttime moisturizer. Now, when it comes to nighttime moisturizers, I would probably not minding, that's what I usually actually tend to do, is that I stock up and buy backups of my favorite nighttime moisturizer. But when I say I don't want to buy backups of moisturizer, I'm referring to a daytime moisturizer, because at the moment also I feel like in my collection I have probably 10 to 15, maybe even more than 15 different moisturizers, and I constantly love to change them up, switch them out. I love some, I'll probably repurchase some, others I might not. There is a lot going on. So this is definitely a category I don't want to buy backups even for my favorites, because something that may be a favorite today might not be a favorite tomorrow. Not because it's going to suddenly become a bad product, that's not going to happen, but I'll just probably find something that I love better. So buying backups is probably not the smartest route. Moving on, next, toner. And when I say toner, I mean exfoliating toners, because I don't use hydrating toners or brightening toners or any of that stuff. And the reason I don't want to have backups of an exfoliating toner is because it's something that I don't go through as quickly. If I'm using a glycolic acid toner, I don't use it every day, I don't use it every other day. I mainly use it only and only when I feel like I have some skin texture that I want to get rid of. I'll just use it on that day, or maybe for a couple of days every other day till the texture goes away, and then once it goes away, then I'll stop using it again. So for that reason, I feel like maybe once I am running low on my toner, I can go ahead and buy a bottle just to make sure that once I run out, I have another bottle on hand. But buying backups truly of this kind of a product, it would just take me a long time to go through all of them. And in the meantime, if a new formula launches in the market, then I would want to test that out as well, and then it would end up with me just creating a ton of stockpile in my collection, which is not the smartest way to go about with it. So for that reason, I don't buy exfoliating toner backups. I don't have any right now in my collection, and I would not want to have exfoliating toner backups in my collection. Moving on, next, lipstick. Now, this is a category where I feel like I have ended up buying backups, and then I have regretted that, because some of my favorite lipstick shades that I am really obsessed with, I might either change my thoughts on those colors, I might change my thoughts on the formula, I might find a different brand, different formula, but the same shade that I like more. There are so many possibilities when it comes to lipsticks. So for that reason, I have to tell myself not to buy a lipstick backup. If I use up a lipstick completely and after I use it up and like empty it, I'm still thinking about it, I want to repurchase it, and I don't have any other shade in my collection that is similar to it in any way, shape or form, then maybe I'll think about buying another one and restocking on it. But I'm not going to buy backups of lipsticks in the future. And again, I'm saying this because of my past experience, but this is something I might not be able to follow in the future. I don't know. I want to be able to follow it, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to follow it. But if I'm not able to follow it, then please don't come for me. Moving on to our fourth category of products I don't want to buy backups of. This is also something that I have bought backups of and regretted. So that's why I'm putting this category over here. And that is serum kind of products. Now, serums are something that are more like for targeted skin concerns, I want to say. Like for example, if there's something that is meant for like hyperpigmentation, and if you have hyperpigmentation and you're trying to treat it, you would buy a serum for that. And once you are out of it, you will go ahead and like restock it. Use up the second one, use up the third one, use up the fourth one. But after some time, if the product is effective, it will actually treat your skin concern to the point where you will not have to have backups of it anymore. You will not have to maybe even repurchase this product anymore. So if you have backups and you are continuing to use it and you have solved the problem, but you're not able to use up all the stock of that specific product that you have, then it's just going to lie around. And a lot of times it's possible, like for me, if I'm giving you my real life example, this is what happened with the Dermaco kojic acid, what is it called? Kojic acid gel, the 3% kojic acid gel from Dermaco. So I was facing some hyperpigmentation and I use it every once in a while whenever I do feel like I'm breaking out, and once the breakouts are gone, there is hyperpigmentation left behind. So I'll use it for a couple of days. It will tame my hyperpigmentation down and then I can stop using it. So because I'm using it like back and forth, I'm not using it every single day, it takes me a long time to go through even one bottle. And I have 2 or maybe 3 bottles in my back stock, which I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to like use up all of those. Granted, I bought that product because even my mom was using it, so I was like, okay, if we are 2 of us and I buy like 4 backup bottles, then maybe she'll use 2, I'll use 2, and we'll go through it somehow. But now she has stopped using it, and now I'm stuck with all these like extra bottles, which yeah, I'm like, why did I buy so much backup? So yes, that's what I mean when I say that I don't want to buy backups of serums, especially when they are targeted towards a specific skin concern, which I don't think I will, deal with that problem for a long time. Something like a niacinamide serum, I will probably not mind having backups of, because that's something I use every single day. So it's not something that's targeted towards a specific skin concern. It's something that I just use every day. So having a backup of that, I feel like it's different. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. But the last category, and this is something I actually made a shorts about, so it's kind of repetitive for you guys, but I will not be buying perfume backups. Now the reason for that is because like I mentioned in that shorts as well, your thoughts can change on perfumes. Just like lipstick, there is a specific scent sometimes that you associate with a certain phase in your life that you love in a specific season, but once you use it up, or maybe you're using it consistently for some months, eventually you kind of get bored of it, you grow out of it. But if you have a backup bottle of the same scent, but you've outgrown the scent, then you just have that fragrance bottle lying around as your backup that you're not even using, because you maybe don't love that scent anymore as much as you used to in the past. So then you're like, okay, now I have to force myself to use it up because I have bought it now and I want to use it. But you're not actually enjoying the scent, you're just trying to go through it because you have it and you've spent your money and you have to use it. So that's why I feel like scents are something you can either buy smaller sizes of and go through quickly, They might not be the most economical, but it makes the most amount of sense, because once you use up your bottle, wait for a couple of days, see if you miss the scent, and if you do miss it, then maybe you can repurchase it. If you're not missing it, then don't buy a new bottle, and definitely don't buy backups. But I feel a lot of people have actually told me in that video that or maybe not in the video, but have told me personally that they actually like buying fragrance backups, and it's again totally up to you. I am just sharing with you what I have experienced personally for myself, so I will not be buying fragrance backups in the future, and of course I have to still go through the ones that I already have in my collection. So yes, that was it. Those were all the product categories I wanted to talk about. Let me know if you would like to see a part 2 on this video. I am not sure if I'll have 5 each next time to speak about, but let me think about it. Let me see if I can come up with a part 2 of this video, and if you would be interested in seeing a part 2 of this video, then do let me know down below in the comment section. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and until next time, bye bye.